Oh no. Okay. I got a plan. All right. I'm gonna go to Magnezone. They're gonna think I'm baiting with something. Like I think they're gonna call bait and assume that it's gonna be like I don't know, a wild charge bait or a mirror shot. I need to shield this. Is there a chance they no shield, thinking I have a lot of energy? I'm gonna farm a little bit more, so it looks like I'm going for like back-to-backs or something. 1, 2. Right. Big return. You think they no shield this? Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I have a purified 100% Magnezone that I've been trying to make work in Master League Premier Classic. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it work last time around, but I was determined to give it a shot this time, and I think I found a team that works quite well for it. So with Magnezone in the lead, I'm running a Conkeldurr and a Garchomp in the back. And this Magnezone is running the big hard-hitting move Return, which helps a lot against various ground types, but also it's solid for a big hitting move without needing to debuff itself like Wild Charge. If you don't have a Purified Magnezone to use, regular Magnezone is fine too, but if you want some of that nuke damage, you probably want to run that Flash Cannon, or if you have a Shadow Magnezone, then Wild Charge alone is pretty handy in a lot of situations. Before we get into the rest of the footage, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the link down below. Going against Swampert, one of the hardest leads for this team, and mainly because it just does so well, and I am met with a Togekiss. If you are an experienced Togekiss player, you'll know that you can live that Stone Edge and don't need a shield. But on the flip side, if you are a Magnezone player in this situation, you'll know that they cannot possibly get to a Flamethrower in time, so if they throw anything, it is going to be Ancient Power. So we're going to go for the big return. No Swampers will ever shield this, and as you can see, it does a ton of damage. I'm going to shield what might be a Earthquake, ends up being just a Hydro Cannon, but that's fine. This is not a great spot to be in. Luckily, it is running Waterfall instead of Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath would do a lot more damage. I'm going to no shield here. And see what I could do, and I'm gonna go straight for that Earth Power. Should be enough, or just barely missing it, but able to get it quite low. And then now throwing an Earth Power, grabbing the first shields, and then I'm gonna shield this because I know that if it's an Earthquake, I get taken out, and if it's a Hydro Cannon, I should live the second one just long enough to get off this Wild Charge. Don't really know if it matters too much because I still have a shield, but at least it's 1 damage to the shield. And able to mud shot it down with a Garchomp. So, with that return landing on the Swampert earlier is what really made this all possible, which is why the return is quite solid. Alright, so Dragonite typically is pretty solid against Magnezone because you have to debuff yourself or bait with mirror shots. But with return, you can reliably take out most of Dragonite's health. And at this point, I'm going to shield and just farm quite a bit. And I'm going to swap here to finish off with a Conkeldurr. Now here comes the Gyarados, and I'm gonna go straight for Stone Edge. You could potentially bait with a Dynamic Punch. You will get to the second charge move a little bit sooner, but I decided to just go for the Surefire Shield, and sometimes I switch it up. It just depends on what I'm feeling. All right, I do have a Wild Charge loaded here, so I'm gonna throw this Wild Charge and see what they do. They do shield. I'm gonna just preserve my shield here because it seems like they're kind of weak. But they actually have an Excadrill in the back. Now, this is really good for my team just because with shields down, this Earth Power will pretty much one-shot it, which is very nice. And we are able to get that. And then I'm going straight for the Outrage. If they decide to try to farm me down, then it's not great for them. So, sometimes you do run into some double charm teams too. This is kind of rough. Unfortunately, at the time, I did not know it was a double charm team, but I'm still going to shield because this matchup, especially against a Waterfall Gyarados, is not the best and most fun for Magnezone. I decided to swap there. I probably should have thrown the second Wild Charge instead to grab both shields, but this is fine too because, again, most Togekisses do not shield, and now I can Spark all the way down, and Togekiss out of the way is really nice because Garchomp's not going to do great against Charmer. We're going to let the Ancient Power go because, again, they can't possibly get to a Flamethrower by farming down Conkeldurr. So we do have a wild charge here. We do throw it, and it ends up being a Primarina. So this is not great, especially with the running charm. And this one is, both shields are down. So we are going to throw the Earth Power, which is going to be at least neutral. So a little bit better for matchup than Togekiss one. That does a lot more damage than I expected. And we simultaneously take each other out. So I would say with a fighter and a dragon in the back against double charms in the back, I did quite well. But obviously, if I read the situation a little bit earlier, that shield I didn't use probably could have helped me win the match. This is kind of a funny one. So run to Magnezone Mirror, and my opponent probably didn't expect the return, but we safe swap our Conkeldurs at the same exact time. The only difference is my Conkeldurr is best buddied, which means that I not only win CMP there, but I also survive their counter when they did not. So it's actually quite nice for me. I'm in a very favorable spot because that Magnezone has nowhere to go against my Garchomp, and they are going to throw a wild charge here. That's fine. And now I'm going to swap to my Garchomp to catch the second one. Even if they throw something else here, that's all good. I'm going to just farm this all the way down. And yeah, we're in a very favorable position. So not a mirror team, but almost a mirror team. They have the advantage in the back end for sure. So winning switch with the best buddy Conkeldurr came in handy. I didn't explain why my Conkeldurr is best buddy, but the simple explanation is none of my other Pokemon are best buddied yet in this team. So that's the only one I can come up with. I would say Conkeldurr is a fine one to have best buddied. You don't really need it, but it ended up working out in that one situation. I think Magnezone could be a good one because you're putting in a lot of work against the different flyers and fairies, and so it's good to keep that one stronger than the other two because whether they have Garchomp or Conkeldurr healthy in the back or not is less relevant, but you definitely need to keep your Magnezone healthy for the potential fairies and flyers that might be hiding in the back. All right, we're going to throw this wild charge here against like Conkeldurr safe swap. This team is not great against it because if you go into mirror, you end up losing CMP, and or you lose, you get outpaced so fast because they're a counter ahead, even if you have best buddy boost. But yeah, if you stay in, you're not great. So I just like to give up switch advantage there and try to do a lot of work with Garchomp and Magnezone, which ended up working out. All right, Walrein. Despite the type advantage here, this is kind of a tough matchup because if they don't go Earthquake and bait you, then it gets kind of tough, but it's still fairly favorable, all things considered. And this one actually decides to just let the move go through, and that's fine. Cranberry is going to hop off here. I am going to throw the return, which no ground type users ever shield, which is really good for me. And then I am going to throw the Sunny Punch. They actually end up shielding here, and they come with the Gyarados. So I'm going to go straight for the Stone Edge. Again, you could potentially bait, but at this health range, it just doesn't make too much sense because I don't really get a second charge move off either way. As you can see, I don't make it a Dynamic Punch. So this is not fun. This is also a Dragon Breath Gyarados, so I'm just going to have to let this go, and then I'm going to come in and try to get to a wild charge, but they actually throw their Aqua Tail, which is perfect because now they burn all their energy. Although the charge moves here from Gyarados is not really the scary part, it's really the Dragon Breaths. But Mudshot will help me get there a little sooner. I'm going to no shield potential Sand Tomb, and it is. That's really nice. And then now they go for another one. I'm going to shield this one, and then now I farm down, throw the Outrage, and that's GG's. Yeah. It's probably a 50-50 call, but I have no idea what other move they had at that point because they only showed Sand Tomb. Right. Shout out Snorlax. Not too bad, but I'm going to swap to my Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is a really good safe swap. The things that beat it, such as Charmers, you still do enough damage to make it worthwhile, right? Garchomp is not nearly as effective, even if you're running Fire Blast, just because the Mud Shots and Dragon Tails just don't do much. But yeah. All right, so I am going to shield the potential superpower. Is just going to be a body slam, but that's fine. I'm going to throw probably both wild charges before I dip. Why not? It's going to do a good chunk of damage, and I go straight to my Garchomp here. And now they have their Gyarados. Getting both shields there was crucial because now I could safely go Outrage without having to worry about potentially baiting with Earth Power or not. I'm going to let this go because that Snorlax does still have energy, and I don't want to have to get hit by Superpower shields down against it with my Magnezone. A little mutual lag there, but we do have enough time just to get to an Outrage, which is huge. My switch timer is up. I'm going to swap over. No shield. If it's Superpower, they're debuffed. If it's not, then I take him out. All right, Triple Flyers. This is a team that's kind of standed the test of time. Is that the phrase? Withstood the test of time. Yes, that's the phrase. Anyway, it could be in various forms. Dragon in the lead, Gyarados in the lead, sometimes Togekiss in the lead. But essentially, it's these main 3 flyers, some of the top 3 Pokemon in all of Master League Premier Classic. And it is a little bit tricky to handle. So we do come in here. Again, this is going to be another Ancient Power, so no need to shield. But it is, my Magnezone is quite low at this point. And this Dragonite does have some energy, which is unfortunate because I do have to shield it. But we do have 2 Wild Charges ready, so this could be pretty nice. And they end up getting a Waterfall through, but that's okay. I get both shields. But unfortunately, they have a slight energy lead here, which makes this matchup a little bit tougher than usual. Even without a debuff from the Crunch, they should get to an Aqua Tail before I take them out. And they do. So Triple Flyer is definitely tough for this team in most orientations for the most part, but yeah, but you know, it's kind of how it is. With a counter user and mud-shot user, that'll happen. All right, this is something I see quite a bit. Togekiss lead with a Snorlax safe swap. What you want to do is tank the first Body Slam, charge a little bit past the Dynamic Punch, and then throw. Unfortunately, I didn't time my energy very well there. Sometimes I get that Stone Edge if I am a little bit quicker on the swap and also time my moves a little better. All right, here comes the Excadrill. Even though it resists return, they don't shield the return, and obviously Wild Charge do wildly less damage than that. But now we're in a really good spot because we have 2 shields. We just double shield the Excadrill, Mud Shot all the way down. Could not have been made. It could not have been possible without landing the return. If you have a Hundo Purified Magnezone somewhere laying around, you can have quite a bit of fun landing some big returns. So definitely something to consider in this meta. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye. Oh no, they shielded.